When you realize that your internal creates the external, you are able to ground in yourself, ground in God. Stop being afraid. Before you do anything, and I mean anything, ground yourself in God. Hi, my loves. My name is Areania, and I am here to share with you my perspective from my journey in hopes that it helps you on yours. Hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to this beautiful connected family. Hit that bell notification so you know when I drop my next gem, because I'm dropping them, baby. And last but not least, share this with someone. Share this with someone who needs to ground in God. All right, my loves, let's get back to this video. When I'm showing up for anything in life, if I'm afraid or I feel anxious, if I feel any negative energies, I just remind myself, I'm like, baby, ground in God. Ground in God. And I'm like, oh, okay. And what I mean by this is be still and know that you are God. When you afraid to do something, all you gotta do is be still. All you gotta do is clear your mind. All you gotta do is follow your breath and know that you are God. Know that you know how to do that thing. Know that you are capable. Know that you know how to figure it out. Know all of this. There is nothing to be afraid of. There is absolutely nothing that can tear you down. There is nothing that you can't overcome. There's no obstacle too high. There's no goal that's unachievable. You can do it all. You just have to ground in God. Everything I do, I stopped being afraid of it. I started realizing, like, girl, ground in God. If you feel any type of feelings that are uncomfortable, ground in God. There is nothing to be afraid of when you understand that you have the power, that you are powerful, that you are the creator of all it is. There's nothing to be afraid of. So when you realize that your internal creates the external, you are able to ground in yourself, ground in God. Stop being afraid. Change that thought and affirm to yourself who you are. Remind yourself of who you are. Transmute that energy. Change the feelings that are inside of you. I'm not afraid. I'm ready. I'm excited. That's just excitement in me. I know I'm gonna kill it because I know that everything I show up to, I kill it. I'm not worried. I got this. And whatever happens, I know that I'm going to get something out of it. You got to change your mindset around these things. But once you start with the base and you understand, I'm a grounding God. You are capable of anything. I'm telling you, it's shifted everything in my life. No matter what I show up for, I remind myself, grounding God. And for some reason, it just grounds my whole body. And then I'm present with whatever I'm doing. And I do the best I can do because that's all that I can do. All I can do is the best that I can do in that moment. It's like we put so much anxiety and fear and pressure on ourselves about things. But all you can do is show up for yourself and do the best you can do. And then when you do that, whatever that outcome is, learn from it and then show up again. There's no reason to be afraid of life. There's no reason to be afraid to go after anything you want in life. There is no reason. The fear and all of that, it's made up. Once you get on the other side of fear, you are going to look back like, why was I even afraid of that thing? Let's use grounding yourself in God with showing up to something that you want to do. But it's hard. It's new. You've never done it before. I tell myself, ground yourself in God. And then I show up and I do this thing every single day because I realize that whatever system that God has built inside of us, and I learned this in psycho-cybernetics, we naturally keep doing this thing. And when it's wrong, we throw it out of our system and then we keep what's right and we keep throwing things out of our system. This is why experience is so important. You experience this thing to see what doesn't work and what does work, and you keep keeping what works and throwing out what does not work. And then once you throw out what does not work and only have what works, you master that thing. And this is why you keep showing up, even when it's scary. But before you go to that thing, just remind yourself, I'm gonna ground myself in God. All right, my loves. I hope this helps. Before I do anything, I just ground myself in God. I'm terrified of a lot of things. I'm scared of so much stuff. But that doesn't mean I'm not showing up for me. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do what God said I need to do. All right, my loves. I hope this message helps. And I know that it'll find who it needs to find. Mwah.